Hello, mathletes. So today we are going to be talking about multiplying fractions. Now, when we multiply fractions, there's a couple steps we have to remember. First thing is everything must be in true fraction form. That means everything must be represented as A over B. I can't have any mixed numbers in this. The second thing is I want to simplify any fractions that I can. The smaller the numbers are that I work with, the better and easier life will be. The third thing I need to worry about is, can I cross-reduce anything? Again, the smaller I make my numbers, the easier it's going to be on me. Finally, I'm going to multiply. And now when I multiply fractions, I'm going to multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. And then my final step, as always with fractions, will always be to simplify once more. Because remember, although there may be 4 different ways to represent a fraction, you're only going to get one that's going to be the correct form on the test. So you have to know how to get to that simplified reduced fraction. Okay, so let's look at a couple examples on this. Now, in your orange foldable, the first example was 1/2 times 3/5. And if I'm looking at my checklist, these are both in fraction form. They're both already simplified. And cross-reduce, 2 over 3, or 2 and 3, they don't share any factors. 1 and 5 don't share any factors. So I'm good there. So I'm ready to go on ahead and go to step, whatever that is, 4, and multiply. And as I said, we're going to multiply straight across the top. So numerator times numerator, 1 times 3 is 3. And I'm going to multiply across the bottom. So 2 times 5 is 10. And then my last step is simplify. Well, 3/10 is as simplified as it gets. So that's my answer. And this was a really basic, simple introduction. I just wanted you to see that we are multiplying numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. So let's start adding some things to complicate the situation and see if there's any other skills we can practice in this. The second example that we had on our pink sheet was -5/8 times 4 over 15. Okay, so again, these are all in fraction form. Simplify, 5/8 is simplified, 4/15 is simplified. Now cross-reduce. I can actually cross-reduce on this because 8 and 4, that's the wrong color, I didn't want that color. 8 and 4 actually do share some common denominators. The common denominator being 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And if I look at it again, 5 and 15 actually share common denominators as well. They share a 5, or common factors, not denominators. So -5 divided by 5 is -1. And 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I've cross-reduced. Now I'm ready to multiply, and I'm going to multiply straight across. So -1 times a +1 is -1. And I'm going to multiply straight across the bottom. 2 times 3 is 6. So I have -1 over 6. And then my last step is simplify. But -1 over 6 is simplified, so that's my answer. Now, the next one we're going to look at, we're actually going to skip forward a little bit because the other examples there are pretty much repeating the same skills. So let's skip forward to number 5 because number 5's actually got something different for us. We have -12 times 3 over 4. Now, remember, everything's got to be in fraction form, so we have to have A over B. So I'm concerned with this -12 because I don't have it in fraction form. But if I know that anything divided by 1 is the number itself, that means that I can put a 1 under it, and now I have it in fraction form. And if you don't believe me, just remember Beyonce. And she said if you're going to multiply it, you got to put a 1 under it. And if she didn't say it, she should have said it. So now we have everything in fraction form. And I'm going to look to simplify. And 3/4 is simplified. 12 over 1 is simplified. There's nothing I can do there. But cross reduce. Cross reduce is something I can do something about because, look, the 12 and the 4, they share a multiple of 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. Negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. And now the 3 and 1, they don't share 1. So I'm ready to multiply at this point. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. 1 times 1 is 1. And now I'm ready to simplify. And we know that negative 9 divided by 1 is simply negative 9. And that's our answer. Now there's one final skill we're going to look at. And I want to practice this one specifically because it gets me the opportunity to introduce something beyond just multiplying fractions. Hopefully you already know this, but number 8. Negative 1 and 1/4 to the second power. Now this exponent may look like it's something more than multiplication, but it's really not. Exponents are just telling us how many times we are going to multiply whatever that is times itself. So this is really saying there are 2 of these. So we have negative 1 and 1/4 times negative 1 and 1/4. Okay. Now remember, this has got to be in fraction format, A over B, and I can't do that. So I got to get mad at this. I've got to multiply, add, and keep the denominator. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So it's going to be 5, but I've got my negative, so I need to keep the negative. 5 over 4 times, and I could work it out here, but I already know since these are the same thing, I'm going to have another negative 5 over 4. Okay, do I have anything that I can cross reduce? No, 4 and 5 don't share any factors, which means 5 and 4 don't share any factors. So now I'm just going to multiply straight across. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. And I have negative times a negative. That means it's positive. So positive 25 over 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, and now I need to simplify this. While simplifying it, I'm asking 16 goes into 25. So 16 goes into 25 how many times? Well, that's going to go into it 1 time. 1 times 16, 16. That's going to leave 9 left over. Okay, so I remember this is my numerator. So the remainder will be my numerator, and my divisor, 16, will be my denominator. So that means it simplifies to 1 and 9/16. Okay, so the key things to remember when you're multiplying fractions, they must be in fraction form, A over B. Simplify as often as you can. The smaller you make the numbers, the easier the multiplication will be. Then cross reduce, because the smaller you make the numbers, the easier the multiplication will be. And you'll notice on a lot of multiplication of fraction problems, you'll make it to where you're multiplying by 1, and that's a good thing. And then remember, you're going to multiply straight across. You're going to multiply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. And don't forget your last step, which is to simplify once more. So I hope this helps out. Hope it clears a couple things up for you. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Hit the little notification bell. Leave a comment. Let me know if this is clearing things up for you, if you're still having problems, and let me know if there's something else we need to work on. I actually got a comment saying I'm still having some frustration with multiplication fractions, which is what reminded me, oh yeah, I got to make this video. So you guys are helping me out by leaving those comments. I'll see you in class tomorrow.